the end of Total Beginner to Greenlaner. Good morning, chaps. It is New Year's Day, so firstly I want to say Happy New Year and good luck to you all. So we haven't greenlaned in it must seem ages. It could only be about 3 weeks, and so we thought we'd give this our last shot before we start planning and prepping to do our trip to Morocco. And so all we're going to do, we just come outside of our back door. There's not many great green lanes around here, so we're just going to follow the Cornish TET from Nador Bridge and do some of those lanes, see how we get on, because it's going to be rather slippery and muddy, more so than what we've experienced in the last couple of months. So yeah, this is going to be the last in the series, I think, of Total Beginner to Greenlaner. Had to come to an end sometime, and I think now is a good time. Anyway, I wasn't planning on greenlaning today, but Helene fancied a go. So let's hopefully we can do it reasonably safely. We don't want to do too much before we set sail. We're leaving at the very end of January. We're going to head down through France, see some of her family, and then we'll take a ferry from Sete to one of the smaller ports in Morocco, and then we've got about 7 weeks to play with, and then we'll come back up and then ride through Spain this time on the way back, and then get the boat back, ferry, get the ferry back from Santander. So we got a lot to do with our bike, you know, prep it up, new bearings, new chain sprockets, you know, the usual. As far as the tyres are concerned, we're going to keep what we've got on. They're fairly worn, but we're going to change and get new tyres put on when we're in south of France. So then we've got, you know, brand new tyres for the trip while we're out in Morocco. Anyway, it's been real fun doing this series, and it's been fantastic teaching and seeing Helene improve as she has. But this is going to be tricky. Like I say, we haven't done it for a few weeks, and it can make a big difference until you get going, I guess. I think even the back roads are going to be not very kind with all this, with all the rotting leaves, etc. And the green stuff as well. Alright, this is what the trail we're doing is one we done at the very beginning. It was probably Helene's second outing on the green lanes. Nice little easy one to start us off. It's so easy, but always a chance of slipping. Gosh, you've done well then, because that was quite slippery mud in that water. And even my wheels, with a bit of tread for off-road, slid. And as you know, she's on road tyres. Well, this next bit, wow, it's when Helene found out what it's like to crash awkwardly as well. It's a little bit narrow, a little bit steep, very muddy, sometimes overgrown. It's I think we've been up here twice now and she's fallen every time. So the conditions are only going to be worse, so I wish you all the best. I mean, either of us have got a chance of falling now in these conditions, so let's see how she gets on. Even this first bit's going to be trickier because I think the leaves, and there's great big sort of gaps down the side which you don't want to fall into. Those gaps are a river, so wow. Oh, she's done well getting through there, seriously. This is where it gets really hard. It was a little bit hard here, then it gets pretty muddy. At the moment, oh, this is like, oh, that's a shame. Oh, I've never seen it like that down there, and you got through that lovely. There was mud that you didn't know was mud, and all sorts, and that river, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's quite high. I thought, oh.
Yeah, my concern then was hitting the river on a really greasy slidey bit, and because it is tarmac, I believe, down there, and yeah, we could have ended up going down the river. Yeah, she used to have massive problems coming up here, so that was a shame, but she's off again, and it gets a bit narrower, and now it's getting a bit greasier, so it's hard. It's a lot. It's very hard. Yeah, I'll turn your engine off, huh?
I'm just scared now. I'm just scared when I see that.
What I'm wondering is, if I just don't worry about the speed, but just keep opening your throttle and it'll keep righting you. Because we haven't done it for a while. She's lost the technique a little bit of getting her bike up, I think. Alright, I need to help you here because I think it's going to be hard getting out of it. I can do it now. Good. Yeah, they're very slippery though, isn't it? Very slippery. Yeah, I'll relax a bit though. See, this is where, like, in conditions like this, having those knobbly tyres really make a difference. You'll be fine again when back in the spring when we come back. You know, greenlaning. I might try and lift your bike because you won't be able to get up that. You'll be stuck in there. But you got one wheel on there, one wheel on here, which is going to be a pain in the ass. Unless you keep the balance and I lift it. Ready?
Whew. Oh God.
Yeah, it gets steep up there as well. Wheels are just spinning. Oh God. Oh, I don't know, this is no joke. I think I think this would be it for us, I think. Keep in that middle. Oh, it's just quite wobbly now. I think that's really shook her confidence a bit. Okay.
You want to go?
I'll just go by you here.
And just go.
No, it's alright, I'll get you up first. Well, this is the third time we've been up here and this is the worst, and it's just got to be the conditions. It's as simple as that, I think. So you're all good in mud when it's a track and it's a fairly flat track and you slide over the place, you're alright, you keep balance. But here, because it's rutty, when you slide you hit a rut and that's what makes you go. That's why these are really hard, aren't they?
Huh.
That's only 4 falls.
I'm already tired. And because we haven't done it for a while, I don't feel I'm strong as I was.
Yeah, you've only got to stop somewhere for a few weeks and yeah, fitness and everything goes, doesn't it?
And the week I've done nothing when I had the COVID.
Yeah. Nice, got a bit of tarmac there. It's still slippery, but if she can stay on that tarmac, then she'll be alright. It's just hitting those ruts, isn't it? I think we'll be having a coffee when we get up the top there. See, I'm not too worried about keeping up the experience before going to Morocco, because we're going to try and do as much off-road as we can, because you know, we're just going to get shitloads of experience, and should be in drier conditions as well. So, you know, a part of not continuing this greenlaning before we go is partly to save damaging the bikes, and also to save the chance of damaging ourselves before we go. But it's when you get consistent day after day experience, that's when it really builds. I mean, even when we're greenlaning, it's only once a weekend at best that you do it, and it's surprising how quick your confidence can drop. And as Helen said, her fitness levels also. Oh, what's happened to? Oh yeah, your fitness levels, everything goes. But anyway, it's still really worth coming out. Gives us a reason to wash the bikes. Well done, you done it. The worst conditions yet. Okay, that was tough. The conditions are so much worse now than what it was a few weeks ago. So we're going to call it a day this year now. Well, we're going to call it a day until we get to Morocco, and look forward to dry conditions. Like I said earlier, concentrate on prepping our bikes and ourselves for a trip, that type of trip neither of us have ever done. I've been wanting to have an adventure on a motorbike for many years, and this would be my first. The furthest I've ever travelled on a motorbike is up to London to see Helene, and I think the furthest Helene has ever travelled on a motorbike is about 60 miles, or maybe 100-mile round trip, and that was when we went away for a weekend greenlaning. So travelling all down through France and spending maybe 7 weeks in Morocco is going to be absolutely massive experience for us, and I've thoroughly enjoyed making these videos, and I really look forward to making some videos while in Morocco. And I just want to thank you all for watching, all your support. It's a great bunch of lads and ladies out there who are into greenlaning or motorbikes in general. So I don't know when we'll start producing content again, but it's going to be at least 5 or 6 weeks, I would imagine. Whether we do any content on our prep, I don't know. That's not something I'm used to doing. I'm quite happy yapping away while I'm riding, but when I'm off the bike, it's a different matter. When you're facing the camera, it's like, whoa, nothing comes out right. And I've tried writing a script and then saying it afterwards or actually reading the script, it sounds absolutely terrible. So I am not an actor, I am not a narrator. So, and I don't know how to get home. Tidford, that'll do. Get on the A38. What would be nice next season is Helene, when we come back from Morocco, she takes her test, and then the options of bikes for her will open up, which will mean then we can have a selection of tyres. I mean, like obviously on the Himalayan, it's got a nice 21-inch front wheel, you can put anything on there. But on hers, yeah, you're so limited. Pretty much road tyres only. Unless you want a thick, a wide, knobbly rear on the front, and I don't think that's in her interest. But I think in Morocco, I believe that she would do fine on road tyres, because the vast majority of the terrain is gravel, rocky roads. There isn't as much sand as one would imagine, but there is in the very south, which we will be heading to. We certainly want to go to Morroco, which is where the sand dunes are, but we will hire bikes and spend a few days down there. Yeah, we'll go to the high Atlas Mountains and play around there. And yeah, I hope you guys follow us. I will try and upload as I'm going, but that won't be easy, because editing, well, when I do it, takes so long. Well, there'll be like a huge backlog of stuff. Anyway, if like when we come home, we have a lot of stuff to edit, and that's fine. But you know, the journey's not going to be about speed. It's going to be about the journey itself. So it'll be not just taking on time. It's about an environment that we'll pick. Interesting routes that test us. We're not there to visit cities and touristy places. That's not our cup of tea, but we will visit one, and that's likely to be Fez. But it's a natural world that we will be spending most of our time, and we'll be camping most of the time. So we'll be taking a fair bit of gear. There's a disadvantage in that, obviously, being bulky and heavy, but then you've got the freedom to stop and camp wherever you like. I don't want to, well, we don't want to think, right, you know, we got 300 miles to do here and we have to get here to there in that time. You know, we just want the ability to as we're traveling, it's like, oh, let's stop here, this looks fabulous. You just get out your tent and your cooking utensils and everything, and then just, yeah, enjoy the vibe. So again, thanks again to everyone. Hope you have a happy new year. See you when we see you. The end of Total Beginner to Greenlaner. Tatty bye.